So you finished a boot camp or a computer science degree, you've been practicing questions on HackerRank or LeetCode, you've got a really nice looking GitHub with great projects, you walk into your first interview and you get asked, what is a race condition? True story. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, I'm Kay. So today I'm going to go through 5 computer science concepts that you need to know for interviews. I've already got a video on 5 programming concepts that you can check out. Now, this is a bit different in the sense that it requires you to explain concepts, how they work on a much deeper level. And myself, coming from a coding bootcamp, I didn't get much exposure to these kind of concepts, mainly because the coding bootcamp's main focus is to teach you to code to an industry standard level, and then all of the kind of more computer sciencey aspects you kind of need to work on just as you develop, really. So without further ado, let's go. Number 1 is multi-threading. Now, this includes an array of different questions around multi-threading and threading in general. So what is a race condition? What is a deadlock? How do you manage concurrency in your applications? All of these kind of questions. These are questions that I had no personal experience of until after my bootcamp, when I started encountering more asynchronous programming. So it is good to be able to understand or explain just what a thread is. So again, a thread is kind of just a unit of execution. So imagine you've got your different lines of code, different processes, and in a thread they kind of execute one by one. So if you're waiting for, say, a process to complete on your thread, such as maybe some data being added to a database, that's going to block the rest of your code from executing because it's working synchronously one by one. So if you have your processes running on multiple threads, then they'll work asynchronously, but then you have other problems such as race conditions. So I really advise looking up what is a race condition and deadlock. I'll leave links to these in the description below. And this is a topic that I've been asked in interviews myself, and I know other people who get asked these kind of questions as well. Number 2 is the pros and cons of different data structures. So you should be able to explain maybe what is the advantage of using an array in comparison to a list, or what is the advantage of using a hash map in comparison to an array, along with disadvantages as well, just because this is also a question that's really commonly asked. Number 3 is explaining garbage collection. Now, in older languages such as C, you would manually manage your memory allocation, but more modern languages such as C# and Java, there's a process known as garbage collection. So that's essentially to do with disposing of objects which are no longer being used when your physical memories reach capacity. And you should be able to kind of, if it's a junior position, just know from a high level view just what it is, and then obviously be able to explain a bit more depth depending on the seniority of the roles that you're going for. Number 4 is database efficiency. Now, I've known a lot of people get asked database questions in junior interviews when only they've had very basic exposure to databases, just how to add, edit, and delete data from databases. So this is where you can start to look at database efficiency in terms of maybe how you've written SQL scripts, so having clustered indexes, non-clustered indexes on your tables, and what that's going to do is just increase the efficiency by which you can read data. It creates something known as a B tree, and of using schemas in your tables, so that again similarly increases efficiency for reading data. Having multiple databases for maybe different parts of your database, so having a separate staging database to maybe where data ultimately lands. And again, there's quite a lot of ways to increase efficiency of databases, so again, do look into it, have a read around it, because that is really commonly asked in junior positions as well as other levels as well. Lastly is the concept of idempotency. Now, this is a word I actually didn't know until a few weeks ago, and coincidentally I got asked this in an interview very recently. What is idempotency? And it's a concept that you're probably already aware of, you might just not know the name of it. So when something is idempotent, it's regardless of how many times you might send a request to, say, a service, the end value won't be updated multiple times. So for example, let's say we have a process running that updates some data in a database, maybe adds data to it, and we send this request for updating the data through an API. Let's say we accidentally send 100 requests to the API. The end process should only still update that database once. So by that, you can say that that process is idempotent. And again, this is a really commonly asked question at more mid to senior level positions. But it's good to know, even if you're a junior or going for your first role. So idempotent, don't forget that word. Now, obviously there are loads of other concepts. These are just 5 concepts that I found to be quite commonly asked that are really useful to know from my personal experience. So do practice these, and obviously if you have time, practice some other concepts as well that are commonly asked. But that's pretty much what I went to go through, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and please do like and subscribe to support the content and keep updated, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.